Once again, for exercise 5-9, you're going to set it up the same way that you've set up the previous two. And for this one, we're just going to go ahead and get started with the drawing portion of this. This is going to go over 1.5, up 1.5, back down 1.5, and it's going to come down here 0.5, back up in 1, down 0.5, back out to where it meets up with this piece, and then straight down, and that represents the actual front face of what exactly we're working with. Then from here I can begin to work and manipulate other portions of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to draw a line starting on the right side of this object, and I'm going to come up here 1.5. This sticks out 0.5, goes in this direction 1, and then this is going to go back the full distance of 2, and even though I'm not going to see all that, I'm going to leave that in there for right now. Then I can copy all of this information from here up. Now I'm going to go ahead and delete that line and draw in the edges of the parts that are visible to me at this moment. One thing to remember is you're going to have to put a lot of edges back in. Don't get ahead of yourself and end up with too many lines. Work on one section at a time. That way it doesn't become too confusing at any one specific point and make it harder to actually develop this object. So now I'm going to go ahead and draw in my back edge, which is going to go over 2.5, and this is going to come over 1.5 just like the other side did, and it's going to come back down 0.5. And now you could take this next portion and you could do a lot of steps, or you could try to simplify it as much as possible. I'm going to simplify it and just draw this in as if it were a closed side. Even though I know it's not a closed side, it will make the rest of this process a little bit easier. Now I can go ahead and draw that back line in to represent that back edge, and draw this line here, making sure that I'm actually hitting that 45-degree angle, or that 30-degree angle. Now I can put in the information in the top. So I've got a break that's going to be coming off of this edge, 0.75. From here, this is going to go back in 0.25. It comes out 0.25 and goes this way 0.25. Okay, so there's a lot of 0.25s right there, and I'm going to repeat the same thing on this side. 0.75 in, it comes 0.25, and I accidentally got out of my line command. And we'll just go ahead and close that off. Now this is going to represent that cut that goes in here. So what I'm going to do is trim out this information right here, add the lines that go straight down, which represent those edges, trim this portion out, draw this corner in because I'm going to see this whole face, draw this line in because I'm going to see that back edge coming down, and now this line right here that I've got going, which is the back edge of my object, I'm actually going to see that cutting through this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that in and then use the trim command to remove the sections of it that I'm not going to see. And that is how you complete exercise 5-9. This is going to look a little bit different than the book, because in the book it calls out a dimension of 0.5, but it's actually looks like it's 0.75. So your picture may not match the book exactly, but what you should have when you're done is something that looks very similar to what I have up here.